You don't own me. I'm just one of your many digital downloads. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about a new law that was passed that will impact the way people watch movies. We also get into how it impacts the collecting community overall. And of course, we talk about the future of where getting movies and collecting goes next. But before we get into that, first, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, you are in the right spot. Go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. All right, jumping into the news here, we got to talk about this new law that was passed in California where retailers have to be more upfront when you actually purchase a right to a digital product. You're only purchasing the licensing agreement to it for a certain time, whether it be a movie, a game, or something else that's digital media of sorts. You are only buying a license to it. But now they got to be super clear when you do purchase this. It can't be hidden away and just like, oh, in the weird terms and agreements, fine print. They have to be more upfront about, yes, you are only buying a licensing to this. You may actually see this disappear in the future, right? And that's what it is. You don't really own digital out there. So if you've been collecting movies only digitally, those movies can disappear at any time. You may wake up one day saying, hey, I want to watch this movie I bought digitally a couple years ago, and now it is gone. Poof, it disappeared because that company lost the licensing agreement to it. So you no longer can play it, and it's just poof, gone forever, unfortunately. So that can absolutely happen. And once again, it happens with movies, games, other media sources. And I know consumers have been getting upset at this when they, spend hardcore money on this digital stuff that they absolutely love. And then they find out one day that, whoa, all this money I just spent is gone. Poof, no more. And they don't have the actual product for it anymore. This is why we're big proponents of physical media on this channel. I love collecting physical, whether it's for movies, games. I just think it's important to have the physical disc because I think the physical disc will last longer than, of course, the digital licensing agreement. Now, it's not always for sure that a physical disc is going to last forever. Something can happen to a physical disc, right? Vinegar syndrome. Things can just get damage on it, right? If you don't keep it safe, you don't store it properly, environmental nature to it all. I mean, something can happen to the physical disc after many, many years. But if you take good care of your disc, I think in the long run, your disc will last a lot more than some licensing agreement, especially with so many things going digital now and licensing agreements changing hands and different deals being made between these companies and studios. You just don't know where those licensing rights are going to end up. I just think they're going to be very limited on the time that you get to actually own them, if you want to call it that. Once again, you're not really owning that final product, just a licensing agreement for a certain amount of time. So I love how this law just notifies consumers more about it. Consumers are going to be more aware of what they're actually buying. And I think it's always great to be transparent with purchases. So that way we protect consumers as much as we can at the end of the day. So that's awesome that California passed this law. And now let's talk about how does it really impact the collecting community overall. All right, so now getting into how it impacts the collecting community, because you may say, hey, we collect only physical here, right? I'm a big physical collector. That's what I do. How's it going to impact people collecting physical? Well, it could actually have a really positive effect because when people see that they're only purchasing a digital version of something, they actually might come over to the collecting side of things. And maybe we grow this collecting community in that way. I think consumers are going to get fed up with just buying licensing agreements to have digital for a certain amount of time. And they're going to feel that, wow, I just spent all this money on digital and I don't even have it forever. Whereas if I bought a physical disc, would last a lot longer. Maybe I should have bought the physical disc in the first place. And then maybe it changes people's mindset. So we get more people that are like, you know what? For my favorite movies out there, my favorite games out there, we got to own the physical disc. I'm going to buy those physical discs and you're going to have them for your enjoyment for a lot longer time. So maybe it grows the collecting community in that way. And then that's good for all the collectors that already exist out there because maybe studios were kind of, saying, hey, people are going digital. Let's pull back on the physicalness of everything. But now, if more people get into the physical collecting game, maybe they will cater more to the physical collectors out there. They'll actually release more catalog titles that physical collectors have been wanting for the longest time. They'll give us better quality products. They will see the need for people to own physical and people's desire to actually have something tangible, hold it in their hands, have it on their shelf. And I think that maybe, just maybe, the consumer at the end of the day will end up getting that better physical product with the community growing. Once again, this is a lot of hopefulness. Once again, this is what we want to happen as a collecting community. Of course, we always want better collecting physical options out there, but I do really think some people are going to be turned off from digital, especially with knowing what you're actually buying at the end of the day. I think digital was really just kind of a fad. People were interested in it with maybe thinking it was more convenient, but I think as they lose what they were actually paying for, they're going to be turned off from it and they're going to pivot and they're going to get into some collecting. And it's not going to be everybody, it's not probably going to be the majority of people out there, but I think it could grow the physical collecting community pretty substantial out there. So I think that would be really cool. So now let's talk about what's going to happen into the future with digital and physical media buying. Where do people go next? Well, I think more states are going to pass laws similar to California, where now they have to be notified if they are buying something digitally that they're only really getting the licensing right for a certain amount of time. I think that's going to be very powerful, being very transparent, because now people can really decide, do they want to go with the digital licensing or do they actually want to buy the physical product? And I'm hoping that some people will say, hey, instead of just buying the licensing for this, maybe we'll start collecting more again and get at least our favorite movies on a physical copy, because then they can actually own it for a lot longer time and kind of outlast the digital licensing agreement. I think more people will pivot to collecting that way. Now, it's not going to be everybody. Some people at the end of the day still may not care and still will be like, you know what? I just feel it's convenient to click digital download. Let's go. If it disappears when it disappears, that's what happens. And they're just going to live with that. Maybe they're not even rewatching the movie a whole bunch of times anyway. So they're okay with that. Fine. You still have that option. You still have that digital licensing option, but at least it's upfront. At least people know about it more. At least people can make better buying decisions. I think it's always good to add things that do protect the consumers in the long run, because we are consumers of media here on this channel. We love our movies, and some people may love playing video games out there. And it's good to have the best available information of what actually is going to happen in the long run, so then you can make the best purchasing decision. So I think similar laws will eventually get passed in other states. It may not be everywhere. Some states may not pass these laws. It is what it is. But once again, anything that helps the consumers make a better buying decision in the long run for themselves, I think is really awesome. So that's just really cool to see that, hey, you know what? Physical media gets a little win here, because we've been preaching on this channel that, hey, you don't really own digital, okay? It's not going to last forever. And some people, for some reason, thought they owned digital forever. So to get the more clearer information out there, I think is so powerful. I think it does good things for everybody in the long run. So I'm just happy to see that. But those are just my thoughts right now. I thought this was really interesting news. When law impacts physical media collecting and movie watching, we got to talk about it on this channel. You guys know I like to keep you entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. So if you love hearing all this movie information, you got to mega smash that like and subscribe right now. Turn on that notification so you're alerted when a new video topic posts. And of course, leave in the comments below, what do you think of this law where these companies have to be more transparent about you not actually owning digital forever? Do you think more people are going to start collecting because of this? Share any of your thoughts down below. Let's have those fun movie conversations. Of course, you enjoy watching and talking the movies. You love this video topic. Go ahead and mega smash the next video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.